critical race theory, but damn it, I'm gonna teach that shit at home. You know what I mean? So now,
Absolutely.
in New Jersey, Sonia, a 9-year-old girl is catching lanternflies. She's
Yes.
trying to get them off the trees. To my
Yes.
understanding, they can be damaging to the
Yes.
trees. This is an environmental thing she's doing. This is helping the planet, damn it, right?
She's a scientist at the end of the day. She's saving the planet.
They wrote an article about her. Like, people were coming out to say, hey, what you're doing is great. Well, a neighbor, a white man, a neighbor calls the police on her. And the biggest thing about this story, because yes, you shouldn't have called the police on a 9-year-old girl.
No.
But the biggest thing about this story, Sonia, is when he called the police, he said there is a black woman outside chasing flies, spraying stuff. Come get her.
Come get her. And so there's a couple of problems that I have here. One, that the trauma that this baby experienced, like, bless her heart, she is the reason that I do this work on an everyday basis. I swear in the last 2 presentations, I always show this image. A photographer just so happened to catch a picture of 5 little black girls with their hair all messy, and they just having joy and fun out in the street during the summertime, right? And so those are the voices that I do this work for. So I can imagine this little 9-year-old black girl in New Jersey being like, oh my God, he didn't see me because I'm only 9, and he qualified me and quantified me as an adult, a woman, right? The second part that is very problematic is the fact that black girls, black children in general, typically experience opportunities of being more responsible because they are what we call, I now call, adultified. Really and truly what that means is people tell you, you should know better. But why can't I be a child? Why should I know better? I'm a child. Ask yourself that question. When you were a child, did you know better? So they take away the childhood of black children, and that's unfair. But secondarily, it is that notion of, I can't be a child. I can't enjoy my childhood. And you've stolen it from me, because forever, her sister gave the perfect statement at that city council meeting. And that it was beautifully written. She was articulate. So it lends credibility to the fact of who their parents are and what kind of ways that they've given themselves, their children, opportunities to explore. She said, I Googled it. It was a TikTok video. And I know that these flies don't do anything but harm the trees in our environment. So killing some of them doesn't kill them all. I'm doing something to help my community. And that's another piece of being Black in America. It is the theft of Black genius. It is the squashing of and the dousing of, and just let me pull the carpet from underneath your feet so you can fall flat on your face of what Black genius and Black ingenuity has always been for the history of this entire country. I mean, like slaves on the plantation, they were ingenious in figuring out things to make their jobs easier. The cotton gin is an example. The ironing board is an example. I can go on and on and on. It is the ingenuity of how can I make my life easier. And for her, 9 years old, being exploratory like that, I want to say to anybody listening to the sound of my voice, if you're in a position to give out a scholarship to somebody who deserves it, she's going to be a doctor or a scientist somewhere along the line in her life. We need to invest in her now. Like, put the money where your mouth is right now. You care about Black education and Black children, give her a scholarship now.
Yeah. And then wait, so you just said something that, damn, it got me thinking, adultification, because my first thing is thinking about how white society, people outside of our community, you're a grown man, 12 and up, 8, 9 and up, you a grown man. Your kids need to be aware of how people view them. Yeah, you just playing, you a kid, but America don't give you the same leeway they give, let's say, a Kyle Rittenhouse. They're not going to blame what you did on the fact that you're immature and you're a child. You're going to be a grown-ass thug, even if you're 12. But as Black folks, we do the same thing. Because when you was talking, I was thinking, man of the house. I don't like that, Sonia.
Right?
When a single mom tells a little boy, Jerome, you're the man of the house, I say, whoa, slippery
Whoa.
slope. Man, there's a way to frame that, but that's a slippery slope because he don't
It
think he the man.
is. Absolutely, it is. And you and I have seen those dynamics probably all of our lives. I will tell you, I mean, this is the way that the world works and the universe just manifests things. I was telling the group of people that I was speaking to at Sac State earlier today, I was like, bless my mother's heart. She was a single mother for a lot of years and she needed help. And she leaned on I being her oldest child, she leaned on me for the responsibility of washing dishes, the responsibility of being the oldest child and being an extra set of eyes and ears over my sister. For me being, that person that if something was wrong with our family dynamic, that I was that extra, right? But it's still something that we've been conditioned. Right? Go back to the slave plantation.
Yep.
This is not by circumstance, y'all. This is intentional indoctrination that Black children don't have a childhood. And we can stop that by allowing Black children to experience joy, by allowing Black children to be exploratory, by not using negative language and stereotypes and labelings on Black children. Like, I use this as an example all the time. My now 12-year-old, when he was in the 3rd grade, I believe, I got a phone call from one of his teachers that said, "Oh, he's being extra aggressive on the playground." And my question, I have one simple question. Was he being aggressive by himself playing with the air, or was he playing with somebody else who was happily playing with him? Because if they were happily playing with them, then all of them were being aggressive, not just my child, not just my Black little boy, right? So we make these mistakes in how we label and articulate our thoughts about children. And we have to really stop ourselves in our track and think about, how is that word going to impact that person's soul and change the way they behave in the world? Because my son heard that labeling of his teacher and it made him become a little bit more timid. It made him not show up in his most authentic self. And so we have to be very vigilant to give our babies freedom, flexibility, and permission at the end of the day to be their whole selves.
Permission. And damn, that's so deep, Sonia, because being